You're watching, yes, the Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
Ground ball, through to a base hit. The game is tied. Dickerson scores. It's a 4-4 tie.
Randy, 4 hits tonight. I mean, this guy's been unbelievable.
Hot shot and off the glove of Rivera, trickling into right. Here comes Granderson. He scores, and the Yankees win 5-4.
Keeping these guys in the game and good things happen.
Didn't try to do too much, just hit a line drive, and luckily it found a hole.
It's definitely a big one for us, and now we have a chance to win the series tomorrow.
And today is a tomorrow that Granderson spoke about yesterday. A big win for the Yankees. A beautiful day here in New York City as Kia Motors presents the Wednesday game of the week. It's the New York Yankees against the Toronto Blue Jays in the rubber game of a 3-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees Baseball, along with Paul O'Neill. I'm Mike. Okay, so a thrilling 5-4 victory for the New York Yankees, and it really all happened in the 8th and the 9th inning, Paul.
Yeah, I mean, Toronto got off to a great start. Ricky Romero had shut them down pretty much all day. You have a couple pitching changes, and Curtis Granderson, I mean, you could talk about him all night. 4 hits, stolen bases, but the hits here are so important because they're hits with runners in scoring position, put the Yankees back in the ball game, give them a chance to win into the 9th. Good thing happened here in the 9th inning. A gutsy call by Joe Girardi. Let Jorge Posada pinch hit off the bench. First pitch. Jorge looks like the little guy that thinks he can do it. He just keeps chugging, goes into second base. Pinch runner, but it sets up what happens in the 9th inning. Curtis Granderson again. Big hit in the 9th inning. And I love to see stolen base. Tie game 4-4. Give Mark Teixeira, one of your run producers, an opportunity to win a ball game. Hits it on the nose. Juan Rivera off the glove. Everybody goes home happy, Michael.
They did go home happy, so Granderson slides in with the 5th run, the winning run. Posada gets mobbed. His teammates happy for him as well. And since it was a walk-off, there was pie involved. It wasn't a good execution of the pie, but it was pie nonetheless. Let's look at today's New York lottery pitching matchup. Jojo Reyes will go for the Blue Jays, 0-3, 4.07. He is really looking for a win. Freddie Garcia goes for the Yankees, 2-4, with a 3.12 ERA. Really, the story of yesterday's game was Curtis Granderson. He absolutely did it all. 4 hits, he scored the winning run. And you know what he's going to do now? He's going to tell you what's happening next.
I'm Curtis Granderson, and I'm coming up next.
Okay, now, Paul, I would think that even you after a game like Curtis Granderson had yesterday, you'd go home happy.
Oh, it was a great game. I mean, he was the offensive star not only of the year, but of last night, too. I mean, Curtis Granderson, if you just go through what he's done all year, and again, last night he gets off to a great start. He's handled left-handed pitching exceptionally well, driving the ball all over, second in the American League behind Bautista in home runs. But last night, everything showed. You talk about the tools of a player, being able to hit for average, being able to hit for power. 4-4 game in the bottom of the ninth inning, stealing a base. And there's nothing better giving Mark Teixeira an opportunity to round third and head for home, knowing you're going to score that big winning run in the bottom of the ninth.
Paul, he's been so good, and if you look back to the date when they supposedly changed his swing, they being the batting coach Kevin Long, August 14, 2010, that's 93 games. He has 30 home runs in those 93 games, 68 ribbies, 10 doubles, 5 triples, and 63 runs scored. Curtis Granderson, one of the best players in baseball since that date. Well, we're ready for baseball here at the stadium. Should be a good one. A Wednesday matinee. Lineups, first pitch, baseball coming up next, right here on Yes. This is brought to you in part by Volvo. Pay nothing to repair or maintain your new Volvo for the first 5 years. Volvo for life. By IOTV. IOTV offers you incredible HD picture and sound. Get the best in HD free. And by BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Well, what a great day in New York City. A Wednesday matinee. Kids are out here in force at the ballpark. Yankees looking for a win today, which would give them a win in the series. So the Yankees have taken the field. They're applying the lampblack on Jose Molina. That means it's going to be a day game. That means the sun is out. That means it's picture perfect. Let's take a look at the Blue Jays starting lineup presented by Bank of America. Yunel Escobar, the shortstop, leads off, batting second. Playing left field, Corey Patterson. Jose Bautista in right field will hit third. Cleaning up and playing first base, Juan Rivera. Jose Molina will catch. He'll bat fifth. Batting sixth, playing second base, Aaron Hill. Eric Thames, the DH, will hit seventh. The number 8 hitter, center fielder Rajay Davis. And Jason Nix is at third base. He's going to bat ninth. And here is Freddie Garcia. Garcia so far this year in 7 starts, 2-4, good ERA, 39 hits in 43 innings, 17 walks, 32 strikeouts. Opponents hit .238 against him. And the Jeep pitcher scouting report.
Well, summertime Freddie ought to love today. I mean, last year he went through a little spurt. He was 9-1 from mid-May to mid-July. It's like the Heat.
First pitch is directed into left center field. It is a base hit. It splits the outfielders, and it's going to roll to the wall. Escobar chugs around second. He's going to go to third, and he'll make it with a stand-up triple.
As a pitcher, you don't even get a little courtesy pitch, strike one. It's to the wall for a triple. So he starts him off with a fastball, run back, but not enough sink on it. Escobar, who came out of the on-deck circle swinging, ends up at third base.
And he had triple on his mind right from the start. Never thought about stopping at second. Why should he? He ends up with a stand-up 3. So Escobar's at third, nobody out. Yankees in at the corners for Corey Patterson. Pitch is low, 1-0.
Well, getting back on track, getting back to my Jeep scouting report, I mean, he started the season off with 2 real good starts, but his last 5 starts, he's 1-4, and not a bird lover. Career over a 6 ERA, which is his worst ERA against any American League team.
And it's so weird when that happens, Paul, because I think it becomes the uniform. Because the Blue Jays are nothing like they were even a year ago. They're a completely different team.
Yeah, you definitely do get in certain habits against certain teams, certain ballparks, no doubt about it. Can't be the uniforms, Michael. They've changed them. They used to be red, white, and blue.
That's right. Pitch is low. Well, Jerry Seinfeld, the comedian, always says that you don't root for the players, you root for the laundry. So I guess if you struggle against a team, you're really struggling against the laundry. Because teams are so transient now. Here's the 2-1. 2-2. Very few clouds in the sky. Just a gorgeous Wednesday afternoon as Jose Bautista is on deck. Nice block there by Russell Martin. Admit it, Paul, you feel like playing today, don't you?
No, this is one of those days where you think, you know, it would have been a good day to get loose, play, have a nice meal at home afterwards. Yeah, that's perfect baseball weather, no doubt about it. Although they're heading on a flight today.
Going to the West Coast. Start a 9-game West Coast swing on Friday. The 3-2. Fouled off in front of the plate.
Really weird way to start a game. I mean, first pitch triple, first pitch home run. Okay, all right, 1-0. Let's get things. But when a guy's on third base as a pitcher, you start pitching, trying to get out of things, trying to save runs, save outs. Last thing you want to do is, you know, you almost concede 1 run. You just don't want to get off on the wrong track and have a big inning the first inning.
3-2. Boy, Patterson really battling Freddie Garcia. Let's look at the game time weather presented by Bigelow Tea. Oh, the city looks great today. 77 degrees. Can't get better than that. 46% humidity, not much wind, and the forecast is sunny.
There's those fields over there we're going to have a catch on someday, Michael.
That's right.
You know, Bigelow ought to get 2 weather reports today. You have a day like this, maybe the 7th inning stretch, we'll run it again.
Right back to Garcia. He checks the runner and they get Patterson. So Garcia wins that battle with the Blue Jay left fielder. It seemed like he kept throwing him off speed.
Yep. I mean, Freddie Garcia has a good split-fingered fastball. You don't really know as a hitter the movement on it. Can go any which way. The ball kind of stayed up in the zone. Patterson topped it. Boy, as a hitter, that's a horrible way to start the day. You get up with the man on third base, you think, wow, it's going to be a great day. Couldn't ask for a better situation, and then you ground out to the pitcher.
Here's Jose Bautista. He did not reach base last night, and that's only the 3rd time that's happened this year. Bautista 4 for 6, 2 home runs and 3 walks against Freddie Garcia. Popped him up. Middle of the infield. How about that? Garcia takes down Nunez, and Teixeira makes the play. And you know what? That might have been a fortunate takedown because it looked like Nunez was going right toward Teixeira.
Didn't look like he had heard Mark Teixeira call that ball, and that ball is right there, right in the middle of the pitcher's mound. Garcia.
I think he did it on purpose.
Uh-oh.
No, I guess he was trying to get out of the way.
Sometimes baseball isn't pretty, you know.
Freddie Garcia is a big guy, too. Nunez went down. So now Garcia has a chance to get out of this.
Yeah, I mean, again, you start off with the triple. You have to say, boy, this is a weird way to start off. But now you've got 2 hitters out, one being the best hitter in the league in Bautista.
And he is going to get out of it. Nunez coming down from third, makes the play. What a start for Freddie Garcia. First pitch triple, and the Blue Jays don't score. Blue Jays nothing, and the Yankees coming to bat. Kept the Blue Jays off the board, and that's a lift for him and a little bit of a downer for the Blue Jays. Let's take a look at the Yankees starting lineup. That's going to face JoJo Reyes, and is presented by Lexus. The captain, the shortstop, Derek Jeter, leads off, batting second. Playing center, Curtis Granderson. Mark Teixeira, the first baseman, hits third. Cleaning up, playing DH, Alex Rodriguez. Robinson Cano, the second baseman, bats fifth. Batting sixth and catching, Russell Martin. Nick Swisher's in right field, batting seventh. Hitting eighth and playing left field, Andrew Jones. And Eduardo Nunez, the third baseman, will bat ninth. So Derek Jeter is on deck, and he's getting ready to dig in against JoJo Reyes. 0-3, 4.07, 60 hits and 48 2/3, 13 walks, 37 strikeouts. Opponents hit 303 against him. Now let's take a look at the Jeep pitcher scouting report.
Well, the scouting report's not getting any better. I mean, searching for a win. He's 0-12 in his last 27 starts. But, you know, does he have an advantage today? Possibly, because the Yankees, we've talked about it, he's never faced the Yankees, and sometimes that can be a problem for veteran hitters. Support, I mean, he needs support, obviously, but he's not as bad as his record indicates. I mean, he's thrown some good games, a couple in games where he's 7 innings, given up a couple runs, but he just continues to lose those decisions.
Seven shutout innings in his last start. He led 2-0, but the bullpen did not hold on. Pitch is low to Derek Jeter. Derek hitless in this series. 2 straight 0 for 5s for Derek. He's 0 for his last 11, hitting .254. Now, Paul mentioned that JoJo Reyes has not won a start in 27 starts. And that's significant. Why? Because the major league record is no wins in 28 starts. And it's shared by 2, Cliff Curtis, 1910, 1911 with the Boston Braves, and Matt Keogh, 78, 79 with the A's. So this could be a historic afternoon. Now, the scouting report that I got on Reyes is that his stuff is decent, but sometimes he's afraid of the barrel of the bat. He just doesn't want to challenge hitters, and he gets a little bit too fine around the corners, walks people, and then ends up having to come in.
He's going to, you know, he'll throw a lot of change-ups, got a fastball and a slider. He pitches lefties and righties completely different. A lot more change-ups to righties, a lot more sliders to lefties. But, you know, again, is this a confidence thing?
That one's driven deep to right field. It's going to be over the head of Bautista and up against the wall. Jeter starts off the first with a double. 24 hits away from 3,000.
Well, this is vintage Derek Jeter. Ball up and away. Drive it the other way. Good swing. Hit it hard enough to get over Bautista, who's a good outfielder. Had a bad carom, and Derek just walks into second base.
24 away. Paul thinks it's going to happen in the middle of June. Yankees have a 9-game road trip before they come back. Curtis Granderson takes outside. 1-0. What a night for Granderson. We detailed it during the start. 4 hits, stolen base, ended up scoring the winning run. And his 16 homers, second best in the majors to Jose Bautista's 19. Granderson 6 for his last 19.
See, Derek gets really hot on the road and is one hit away and has one game to play on the road. Does Joe Girardi consider having him do that at home? Is it that important?
That one gets away from Molina as Jeter goes to third.
That you do it on the road or at home?
It's a great question. I've been asked it before. My gut feeling is that the game is more important than the record. And if you think that you could win with Derek Jeter in the lineup in that last game on the West Coast, I think you have to play him.
To try to hook you up though, Michael, because if that scenario happens, I'll text Joe and say, you know, Michael wants that call. He wants to call his third 3,000 hit.
And since I won't be on the West Coast, right?
That's a good home.
That one is drilled to right field. It's a base hit. One hop up against the wall. Jeter scores. Granderson into second with an RBI double. Yankees up 1-0.
Well, we talked about in the pregame, Curtis Granderson, left-handers, right-handers, it does not matter. The key is that front shoulder against lefties. Stays in there, ball up, out over the plate. Night and day of where he was last year at this time. Beautiful swing. Reyes is probably thinking to himself, here I go again.
So Granderson now 5 straight hits. Hey, the best way I could look at it with Reyes, and we've always said this about guys that lose 20 games, you've got to have something for them to keep running out there.
That's what they used to say about Anthony Young when we faced him. And you'd come back to the dugout and think, man, this guy's got pretty good stuff. He just never wins.
Granderson had 3 straight walks to end Monday's game. So he has been on base a lot, and he picked up 4 hits and 5 at bats yesterday. So now the double right now, 5. 8 out of the last 9 times he's been on base.
I'm going to get my scorebook out and help you. I couldn't find it.
Popped up, shallow center. Hill drifts back and dropped the ball. So Teixeira reaches. We'll see how they score.
Got to be an error. I mean, you've got. They had the wagon circled, and it just Aaron Hill couldn't put it. Again, the day game, he called the outfielder off.
Scored an E4.
Espo shows that that glove just wasn't long enough, right off the end of the pocket.
And that's what Hill is looking up at. Alex Rodriguez steps to the plate. 16 for his last 35. That's 457. 7 runs, 3 home runs, 5 multi-hit contests in his last 8 games. Upstairs.
Tough matchup for Reyes here because Alex Rodriguez can cover everything he has because he doesn't have the overpowering fastball to get up under his hands. Alex is a good slider hitter. He can handle that changeup, and Reyes has got everything up in the first inning. Why you see the Yankees getting real good swings off of him.
Popped up. Catch is made by Davis for the first out.
We look at Reyes early in the game, everything up, even that last fastball to Alex Rodriguez. He's not the type of pitcher that can pitch up there all game, especially with his off-speed stuff. Fastball. Alex, you see those hands pulling in, didn't quite get to it. Good pitch to hit. Early in the game, just wasn't ready to get there.
Here's Cano. Cano got a big hit yesterday, and that was in the 6th inning. Check that, in the 8th inning, with a runner on third base and 2 outs. Yankees were about to go down again, leaving a runner on base in scoring position. But Cano picked up the double, and then Russell Martin picked up the single. That made it 4-3. And kind of set the stage for the ninth inning.
And we talked about it a little bit yesterday, Michael. They made a pitching change. They had one of their best relievers out there, and they brought the textbook lefty-lefty matchup, and that just does not work to Robinson Cano. I mean, he can hit lefties, and it ended up costing the Blue Jays a couple runs.
And the pitcher you're talking about that they had in, Casey Jansen, an under 2 ERA. Then they brought in Martin Zaczynski, and it just doesn't neutralize Cano. It's foolish. You should keep in your better pitcher there, what Paul's trying to say, because Cano hits over 300 against lefties. And he does pretty well against righties, but a nice catch by Bautista, and they are going to double up Granderson at second. So you score at 9-3-6, a double play off the bat of Cano. He scalded the ball, but he hit it too hard, didn't sink enough, as Bautista makes a nice play to turn that one into the first out of a double play. The Yankees score a 1, 2 hits, 1 left. You've made this play before, Paul.
The hardest play as a right fielder because the ball is right at you. To the play here, you can reach, but when that ball is right at you, you kind of lose sight of it. The last couple feet, really, really tough player.
Look at Granderson trying to go the shortcut.
Oh, that's nice. Huh? That works in the major leagues, doesn't it?
So even if he would have been safe at second, he would have been out. They would have appealed, because once you cross a base, you've got to retrace that step. And he didn't do it. He said, let me just go the shortest distance to 2 points, a straight line. Here's Jose Molina. And the pitch is a strike. Hey, second inning, we get a chance to talk to Kim Jones.
Oh.
I know you like that.
Where is Kim? She's out in the sunshine somewhere.
That's right. Where's Waldo? Where's Kim? I think she's in the third base camera well. Now, Kim, yesterday after the game, the Yankee clubhouse was obviously very, very happy. And when they're happy, sometimes they're introspective and very open. They kind of uncovered a lot of the questions we had leading into that inning.
Yes, Michael, and Jorge Posada in particular confirmed something you and Paul said. Jorge Posada would not have pinch hit last night in the ninth had Brett Gardner reached. If Gardner's on base there, Nunez is asked to sacrifice him to second. So you guys were right on that count. As far as Curtis Granderson goes, I asked him about stealing second. He had been caught stealing earlier in the game. He said, first of all, he thought it was worth the risk there. Secondly, reliever Frank Francisco slower to the plate than was Ricky Romero. You and Paul also mentioned that with the shift on for Teixeira, perhaps Granderson could have popped up and stolen third as well. He said he noticed it, decided that was not worth the risk, but, quote, I filed it away. So maybe we will see that later in the season from Granderson. And Teixeira, of course, had that game-winning hit in his mind, but first and foremost, he wanted to give Granderson a chance to steal a base. He did. Granderson in scoring position scores on the Teixeira game winner.
So you had a big game as well, Paul. You were right on top of all that stuff.
We were on top of our game last night.
Really? All right, now speaking of Granderson, and we seem to be speaking a lot of Granderson, what's the feel in that Yankee clubhouse and from Joe Girardi, because coming into yesterday's game, Granderson, he said he wasn't that happy with the way he's swinging the bat.
Yeah, he told me that coming into the series, Michael, despite all the home runs. He said, I've had 6 hits in the last 3 series. I've got to improve. Well, he's been on base just about every plate appearance this series, as you noted in the last inning. And I actually asked Joe Girardi if those 4 hits last night could perhaps make Granderson feel even better about himself at the plate. Well, Joe Girardi said they were textbook swings last night from Curtis Granderson, but then Joe stopped and said, I'm actually not even sure what to say because he's looked pretty good all season to me. Joe's saying sometimes hitters can be so self-critical that they are critical when the rest of us think they're going well. So that's my perfect chance to send it back to Paul O'Neill, because I think he can agree with that self-critical approach as a hitter, right, Paul?
Well, I mean, you're right. I mean, if you feel like you are getting hits and you don't feel like you're having good swings, you know those hits are going to stop. And Curtis Granderson came into this series thinking, you know, I'm getting some hits, but I'm not at my best. Obviously, he slept on it and woke up and came into the series swinging the bat real well.
But it does stop you from making changes. If you're getting a couple blue pits, you're not going to change things around.
Well, I mean, usually when you're getting blue pits, you're doing something mechanical. Usually when you're going through slumps, it's in your head. So, see this argument you got going up here, Kim? Huh?
I'd love to stir it up.
All right, let's talk bullpen. What's the bullpen standing right now?
Well, we haven't seen Mariano Rivera in a week, Michael. Joe Girardi said, yeah, it's nice to get him some time off, but he would like to get him in there today, with tomorrow being a day off for the Yankees. He also noted that with Rafael Soriano out for what may be an extended period of time, even though we do not know the results of his visit this afternoon with Dr. James Andrews, Joe Girardi saying that after the setback on Monday, he believed that the Yankees would be without Soriano for, quote, a while anyway, unquote. So it is now Jabba Chamberlain and David Robertson who have such important pieces in that bullpen. But Luis Ayala has joined the mix. Joe saying he's been so good, he will use him in Robertson's former role, as Robertson is now basically the 7th inning guy.
Aaron Hill lines a single left center with 1 out, so a man on. It's really odd because before they signed Soriano, you take Ayala out of the mix. That's the way the bullpen was going to break down anyway, Kim. It was going to be Mariano, Jabba, and Robertson in that order.
You're right about that. And David Robertson simply said today, hey, without Soriano, we just have to try harder to do our jobs. Well, they've been doing it lately. One interesting note, Joe Girardi's pretty good about resting his relievers. In fact, he often sticks to it to a T. However, Jabba told me today that he told David Robertson yesterday, we need you, and we need you in September. If you need a day, you've got to tell Joe.
Thames pops it up, shallow right, sliding is Swisher, and the Cano makes the play. Cano just whipped it out of the air and hauled it in, and just before it was going to go into the glove of Swisher. So a nice play by Cano.
This is a backwards play, too, because you're always taught that the infielder slides and the outfielder goes above, just in case there's a collision. And you'll see on this play, Swisher slid. So you could have had a collision there, or needed a head if you're Nick Swisher.
Freddie Garcia likes what he sees. Well, Kim, we will talk to you in the postgame. Now, you have a choice. You can stay down there in the sun or come back up here. It's up to you.
I'm not going to complain either way. How's that for an answer? But I'm going to come up and see you and Paul.
I want an answer, Kim. Don't say that. I want an answer.
I'm going to come back, Paul. I'll be right there.
I feel a lot better about yourself right now.
All right, Kim, thanks.
Thank you.
Runner remains at first. Rajay Davis swings and misses at the first pitch. He looks down at Brian Butterfield, the third base coach, see if anything's on. It's a 1-0 Yankee lead, top of the 2nd inning. There's a strike. Davis, a mini 3-game hitting streak, 4 hits and 12 at-bats.
Kim must do a lot of homework. She gets a lot out in inning breaks.
A lot of homework.
Yeah?
She works it.
That wouldn't be a good job for me.
That would not be a good job. Let's send it down to Paul. Thanks, Paul.
Good game we got going here, Michael. Back to you.
I was reading about a story about hot starts and slow starts and how it makes players feel. And I read that in 1994, when you won the batting title, the end of May, you were hitting 459.
Right. And, you know, the one memory I have about that is after the reporter started at the end of May, or at the beginning of May, you know, you're hitting 400. Do you think? And I said, you know what? If I'm hitting 400 at the beginning of June, we'll talk about it. All right. And I'll be darned, on June 1st, I get to the ballpark and they're all at my locker. So, you know, it is something that that is fun, but it also becomes a hassle when you have to talk about what you're going to accomplish in the year, and it's only June. There's nothing better than getting off to a good start as a player, though. It just makes things so much easier. Digging out of a hole is very tough to do.
Rajay Davis swings at a pitch out of the strike zone. Blue Jays strand one. We go to the bottom of the second. Jaguar. See how Jaguar outperforms the competition at JaguarPerforms.com. By Turkey Hill, the official ice cream of the New York Yankees. And by the new definition of world class, 2011 Buick LaCrosse. A view from above as the Yankees lead 1-0, bottom of the second inning. Russell Martin will lead off against JoJo Reyes. Always get differing views on this, Paul, so let me come to you with it. Yankees really win an exhilarating game yesterday. 2 in the 8th, 2 in the 9th. Carryover effect or not?
I think so. And you saw it early in the game, because all of a sudden you go from thinking to yourself in the mid-innings, you know, we got a chance to lose again, and, you know, they haven't been playing well at home. Now you have this big win. You come back to the ballpark, and you're thinking, now we got a chance to win 2 out of 3. I think it really picks up a team to have a win like last night.
But then sometimes I get fooled by that. You were with me for the Yankees-Rangers playoff series last year. And when they won that first game and the Rangers blew it, I foolishly said that the series was over because I thought that would have a carryover effect, and the Rangers end up coming back and winning in 6
Playoffs in the season, completely different ballgame. I think so, and a lot has to do with the days off that you have between games and things like that, and also the importance. You don't have the same mindset during the playoffs that you do during the season. There's just no way.
Russell Martin with the walk. Let's take a look at the Jays defense, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealers. Patterson, Davis, and Bautista left to right in the outfield. Nix gets the start at third. Then there's Escobar, Hill, and Rivera. That's third to first. The veteran Molina behind the plate, and JoJo Reyes is on the mound. Here's Nick Swisher. Nick is 0 for his last 12. JoJo Reyes has not started a Yankee batter off with a first pitch strike. And still hasn't.
Consistent. Another guy that you talk so well about, Granderson, and it was so exciting to see Jorge Posada get that big hit last night. And here's your other concern if you're Joe Girardi, is trying to get Nick Swisher, and it's not going to happen this at bat or today, but it has to happen progressively. You know, you have a couple good at bats today, you have a good West Coast trip, and before you know it, you've had a good month. But at some point you're going to have to see some quality at bats time and time again, 4 or 5 in the same day, where you know a player is starting to turn it around.
Lofted into right center field, giving chases Bautista a nice running play for the first out. When you're struggling, that happens.
Yeah, ball hit off the end of the bat just enough to let that ball kind of hang out there. You see it was a good approach, but you see the ball off the end of the bat didn't hit the barrel. The ball will keep traveling. That ball off the end of the bat just gives that right fielder Bautista time enough to run under it. We've talked nothing but good things about Bautista. He's been an unbelievable offensive player, great defensive player. He misplayed a ball last night. It really became crucial late in the game where he kind of bobbled that ball that Jorge Posada hit. It ended up being a double. I don't see it very often. He's such a solid player out there.
Pitch to Andrew Jones is lost. Talking to Brian Butterfield, the third base coach, about Bautista, and also Torey Lovello, the first base coach. They said Bautista should actually win a Gold Glove. You watch him; he's got a great arm. He changes the way third base coaches wave runners home, backs up plays at first base, constantly moving, does everything right out there. They couldn't say enough good things about the guy. Deep drive, left center field, going back Davis on the track, looking up, see ya! 2-run home run, Andrew Jones, and the Yankees lead 3-0.
If they're going to work. Andrew Jones, after Brett Gardner's been swinging the bat really well, you just insert him in the DH role or in the lineup today. You see Reyes just up in the zone. Andrew Jones knew immediately this ball was gone.
Hit the back wall. There's a first pitch strike by Jojo Reyes as he is ahead of count 0-1 to Nunez.
You have to look at that one. Just hear the sound and know where it's going.
Nunez pops it up. Nix will put it away. Had to fight the sun, almost dropped that ball. With that home run and the 3 runs already, the Yankees have outscored opponents 74-43 over the first 2 innings this season. 37-16 in the first, 37-27 in the second. I guess they run into trouble after that.
It's like if they get off to a good start, they pile it on, and if they get off to first 2 or 3 innings they don't score, it seems like it's been a struggle, and they start waiting for those home runs.
Here's Derek Jeter, started the first inning with a double over the head of Bautista. And a strike. He could not hold up.
It's that slider we talked about, and if he can get ahead with that fastball, which he hasn't done much today, he can get those righties, especially down at their back foot. Check swing out.
Down 1-2. Derek with the double in the first inning, now 24 hits away from 3,000. No major league player in the history of the game has ever picked up his 3,000th hit at Yankee Stadium. Ground ball by Jeter. Escobar backhands and fires, and that will do it here in the second. But the Yankees get 2 runs on 1 hit, and the 1 hit off the bat of Andrew Jones. With a runner on first base, he drives one into the bullpen in left center. With that, the Yankees lead 3-0. Knicks hitless in his last 14 at-bats.
Is it me, or we have a lot of guys going through hitless streaks?
A lot of guys. Lincoln scoreboard 3-0 Yankees over the Jays. Well, baseball doesn't have as much hitting as it did like 4 or 5 years ago. Getting back to a game for pitchers. Count 1 and 2.
See the difference in Freddie Garcia on how that little sinker he's throwing, how it's down in the zone, and how Reyes has been missing up. Much different as a hitter with that sinking fastball to get it up above the waist. Good pitch to hit. Down by the knees, tough pitch to hit.
Count 2 and 2. Garcia certainly pitched better than his 2-4 record. You have a 3.12 ERA in the American League. You should not have an under 500 record, especially when you're pitching for a first place team. But he has not had the best of luck. The 2-2. Grounded.
Split figure fastball, and again, tough pitch to hit. Uses it a lot with 2 strikes. Also uses it a lot with men in scoring position. That's one of his strengths, even at this point in his career. He gets that big out. You know, got runners in scoring position. He has a good knack for getting that out.
Ground ball to Jeter. And he retires Knicks. Let's check out the Yankee defense. And it's brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. In the outfield, Jones, Granderson, and Swisher. That's left to right. Infield, we got Nunez at third with A-Rod DHing. Jeter at short, Cano at second, Teixeira at first. Russell Martin playing a day game after a night game behind the plate. Freddie Garcia is on the mound. Here's Yunel Escobar. And there's a strike. Now, when the Blue Jays scored 3 runs in the 4th inning, there was a safety squeeze by John McDonald. And I checked it out. That was actually called from the bench. Tapped right back to Garcia. Then Yunel Escobar bunted with a runner on third, and he did that on his own. And he was kind of schooled by the coaches and John Farrell. You can't do that on your own because the guy can't score. We've got to tell the guy at third that you're about to bunt, so he's going to take off. Rajay Davis, a good base runner, and the first thing that he heard before Yunel Escobar came up from Brian Butterfield was, nothing's on, go on anything on the ground. He said, so he wasn't ready to go on a bunt. He said, Yunel has to know, you can't put down a squeeze without the third base runner knowing.
It's tough. I mean, Davis, you think would just react because of his speed. And Escobar probably got the same thought process. But again, if you are going to try those plays, yeah, you do need to let people know what's going on.
High fly ball, right field. Nick Swisher's there, and he'll put it away for the final out of a 1-2-3 inning. We played 2.5 here in the Bronx. It's 3-0 Yankees.
and it's going to rain, so it's going to be our type of weather. You know, sometimes it's good to get out on a trip like this as a group where, you know, there are no distractions. It's only, you know, your club together, and it can be a good thing. Let's hope so.
And that road trip begins on Friday. Let's look at the upcoming schedule. Brought to you by Acela Express. Enjoy the journey. 3 games in Seattle, all on yes. 3 games in Oakland, all on yes. Then an off day on Thursday, and then 3 games against the Angels in Anaheim.
You making that trip, the whole trip?
No.
No?
Nope. Singleton and Coney the first 6 games, and then Bob Lorenz and John Flaherty the final 3. Lincoln scoreboard 3-0, so you promised to text Joe and say don't play Jeter. If right.
I want you to have that call, Michael.
Now what happens if on the last day he's 3 hits away? Do you take your chance and put him in, that he can get the 3 hits?
Well, you know what? Listen to this. I got called up in 1985, right? If you remember in Cincinnati what's happening then. Pete Rose is going to break Ty Cobb's record.
Right.
And like 2 days after I get called up, we're in Wrigley Field, Chicago. He ties the record. He has another at bat that game. Could have broke the record. But he ended up grounding out.
Pass to diving Rivera. And Granderson continues to scald. And he gets in there with a double. You can't be hotter than Curtis Granderson.
Curtis Granderson again. We'll go over the same thing. Shoulder in, picking up the ball quick, hitting it to the right spot. Rivera has had more plays at first base. Every time it seems like if you're playing a position you're not accustomed to playing. Juan Rivera's a left fielder. It's like the ball finds you. You see in the slow camera that he's safe. Any way you look at it, another double.
Here's a Coors Light freeze cam. We'll see if he is in fact safe. Freeze it. Wow, I don't know.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
Closer than I thought. Glad we froze it.
So Pete Rose actually did that in that last at bat.
Yeah, everybody on the bench was thinking, and myself included, wow, is he going to hit again? Because we're going home tomorrow.
Right.
And yeah, he went up, had another at bat, did not get a hit, and ended up going over for a couple days at home, and then got the big hit in Cincinnati in front of 55,000 people. Home people.
How neat was it? I mean, you're a kid from Cincinnati, and obviously you grew up watching Pete Rose and Big Red Machine, and you were there to witness history.
Michael, I've told many times, people go through like your top 10 memories of baseball. That was in it, and I wasn't even a part of it, other than sitting on the bench and running out there and acting like I belonged part of the team because I just been called up.
Popped up. Nix shades his eyes from the sun. He wasn't near that ball and ends up in the seats. I don't think he saw it.
No, I mean, we've talked about it. In the old ballpark, left field was the tough sun field, which would include the shortstop and the third base. And, Michael, I don't know if we had enough sunny days early in the year to realize that, but you're right. I mean, you could tell he was fighting that sun the whole time.
I remember when Rose was at first base. I remember seeing like you.
This tall guy with an afro?
Yeah,
that was
guy
me.
with an afro.
That was me.
Big grin on your face?
Oh, absolutely. That was neat.
Two. Driven deep to left field. Patterson back, turning, looking. See ya. 2-run home run. Right to Shara, a bullet into the seats and left. And the Yankees lead 5-0.
You're seeing continual good swings from the Yankees, which is telling me that Reyes is missing with a lot of pitches. Again, fastball right down the middle of the plate. You just cannot miss with this kind of stuff like he is right now. Yankees taking advantage of it.
Here's Alex. 1-0. Lady in pink ends up where it is.
You don't even fight for it. It just comes to you, you know? Everybody's squirming around for the ball, and she just pops up with the ball.
13th home run of the year for Teixeira. Now has 32 ribbies. Off the thumbs and a one hopper to second, and Alex is out. IOTV offers incredible HD picture and sound. Get the best in HD free. IOTV is the official HD service provider of Yankees baseball on Yes.
Third baseman putting his glasses on in the middle of the inning. It's kind of an unwritten rule that if you ever lose a ball in the sun without glasses, you're in trouble. You know, if you lose a ball in the sun and you had the glasses, you did everything you could. Which, you know, the glasses aren't 100% foolproof. If you lose the ball directly in the sun, glasses really don't help. Beautiful as that sun looks like in the sky today, it can. Look at that. It's beautiful.
That's waiting to take you back to Cincy.
Is that right?
Yeah.
It's going to take a while, too. We've got a couple connections through the Hudson River and the valley and the lakes and everything to get there, too.
Now, when you were in the outfield, did you prefer the flips or did you prefer the wraparounds?
I went to the wraparounds late in my career. Much easier. The flips, sometimes as you went, and that's what happens if you don't have them. You can just put the wraparounds right on top of your hat. But the flip, sometimes, if you were running back towards an angle, could give you a lot of problems. I never could hit with them. I used to look at Bernie hit with the glasses on. I never felt like I saw the seams of the baseball well with the glasses on.
And a lot of guys hit with them.
Catchers wear them. It's all preference.
I believe that Molina has on glasses right now. Yeah. So does that fan.
Little fella's got the wraparound on. Some lemonade. This might be the official day of, you know, the start of every ice cream season, lemonade season.
Grounded to second, Hill. With a second out. Been seeing some of these great shots from above, and we have to thank the people at DirecTV. Aerial coverage brought to you by DirecTV. Get every MLB game and the most in HD. Call 1-800-DirecTV. That's a strong little bolt right there. Because it's pulling the big one.
Powerful.
Little tug. You ever go on a cruise ship?
I used to go on a lot of them. Yeah, early in my career, that they would have the, you know, like the Cincinnati Reds cruise ships, and you'd go on before we had kids and stuff. Yeah, it was a great time.
And you had to interact with fans?
Oh, best buddies. Look at that.
Circle line.
Just like that, out in the ocean, on the circle line.
Have you ever done the circle line?
No.
That's neat.
What is it?
It circles Manhattan.
Wow.
It's a great view. It's a tour. It's a tourable.
A lot of people don't. I mean, you grew up here, you know. But if you tell somebody from the Midwest, Manhattan, New York City, it's an island.
Right.
They just don't. They don't get it. They don't understand it.
That circle line's jammed right there, so doing brisk business on this beautiful day. Takes 3 hours to go around Manhattan, and you circle around the Statue of Liberty.
It can take 3 hours to get to the George Washington Bridge from here. I mean,
If you
it's
drive,
pretty good.
yeah. 2 walks for Russell Martin.
Reyes is just continually he's having one of those days, and his past experiences aren't helping him. Having trouble throwing strikes, having trouble keeping the ball down. It's like when he throws a good strike, he gets hammered. And then when he tries to make a good pitch, you know, he gets behind in the count, and he go ahead and walk, throws the ball 4. So tough time for Reyes out on the mound.
You wonder how much it enters his mind that if he doesn't win this game, that he has tied a major league record for futility. 28 games without a victory. I mean, you've got to be completely oblivious on purpose not to know.
It's not like, you know, you talked about it with all the news and the media and everything. It's not like, you know, just get away from it. It's in your face every single day with reporters asking you about it, and you say the answers they want to hear. You know, I'm going to keep battling and try to change it, but it does have to eat at you.
Runner goes. Throw to second, into center field. Martin gets up, will scoop to third. Now, Molina's saying that Swisher interfered with him, that he came across the plate, and now John Farrell is going to talk with Wally Bell. Let's see if he did.
I think as a hitter.
I don't think so. Did you think so, Paul?
No, I think the catchers use that sometimes. I mean, the ball was inside. Swisher's getting out of the way.
Looks like Molina tried to step into him to almost draw contact.
He was going for the foul.
Yeah. It was a wide throw. Hill could not come up with it. Might have stepped on his foot. But you can see Molina didn't step right to home plate. He stepped into the right-handed batter's box. I mean, there's really not any place for Swisher to go there. So now runner at third base with 2 outs. Swisher with a fly ball to right in the second. 0 for his last 13.
Molina's still jawing at him back there, too.
Yeah, he stepped on his foot.
Didn't make contact, but I mean, Swisher's trying to get out of the way of the ball, too. So, I mean, you do have a right as a hitter to be in the batter's box. It's not like you got to hit the deck when they're going to throw to second.
High fly ball. Left side, Nix can't make the play.
I think he's got the flip downs there. Maybe better go for the wraparounds. He's really struggling with that sun. And again, it's easy to laugh about it up here, but if that sun is in the right spot, there's not much you can do as a fielder.
He's in good shape. High fly ball. Left center. Davis is there, and that will do it. Yankees get 2 more runs. Hey, the heroes from last night have picked up where they left off. 2 doubles for Granderson and a 2-run home run for Mark Teixeira. It's 5-0 Yankees after 3. Quit line quiz. Who's the only player to hit at least 60 home runs with both the Yankees and the Blue Jays? I think I know that.
I know one of them. Oh, wait.
There's only one.
There's the only player.
So if you know one, you know the answer.
I got this one.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, we'll find out in the bottom of the 4th.
Flip it back up there. Right. I want to reread that. I went through it awful quick. I want to throw my answer out there, and it didn't even qualify.
Bautista shows bunt. The Yankees go, please bunt. They count 0-1. Here it is. Who's the only player to hit at least 60 home runs for both the Yankees and the Blue Jays?
I got it. I got this one.
You really do?
I feel real good about it.
All right. I think I have it, but I'm not sure I feel that great about it. The 0-1. 0-2. Nothing Yankees. Rubber game of this 3-game set. Hammered that one foul. There's the Delta League leaders. Runs scored. Bautista 1 ahead of Curtis Granderson. And you got Cabrera and Joey Votto of the Cincinnati Reds.
Seeing him soon, huh?
Just a bit outside.
Russell Martin did his best. He still couldn't come close to that. I think Garcia's really kept them off balance again. I mean, you're talking about a Jose Bautista hasn't even had good swings. I mean, here's a guy that's leading the American League in almost everything. So he's kept the ball down. He's mixed up his speeds. Good split finger and had a good enough fastball today to get it over when he needs to. And he's thrown that slider twice in this at bat.
I would think, Paul, that a pitcher like Garcia, the bigger lead that you get him, the tougher it is on the other team because they're going to get anxious, and he could play that anxiousness against them.
Yeah, I mean, he's smart enough to know that too. And you know, I think he's caught Bautista.
Caught him in the back there.
Yeah, he caught him in the back. Sorry, didn't mean to jinx you. But you know, other than that home run that he hit off Colon early in the first inning, Game 1, Bautista has had some tough at bats, and you just have not seen that from him all year.
Well, it's time for the Toyota text poll. Today's question is, which of these American League East players would you least like to face with the game on the line? You can text your vote to 58772, and standard text messaging rates apply. Here are your choices. Is it Bautista? Is it Adrian Gonzalez? Is it Vlad Guerrero? Or is it Evan Longoria? Obviously, they left the Yankees out.
Yeah, that might be a little hometown cooking there. But, you know, those top two guys are both good hitters. I think Vlad Guerrero, I mean, his strike zone, you can expand a lot. I'd say Gonzalez has been hot. Bautista's done it all year, so.
Juan Rivera, originally signed by the Yankees, made his major league debut on September 4th of 2001 against the Blue Jays, and his debut was replacing Paul O'Neill in right field.
Yeah. Didn't he get hurt like a week later or something? He hit a golf cart or something? Remember that?
I think he did, yeah. He ran into a golf cart.
That was parked out in the left field fence or something?
I think the rider of the golf cart got into some trouble.
You know what's funny, though? You tell these stories, and all of a sudden it takes me back to where I was at the time. And I remember I was taking my first vacation after retiring. I came in to do a couple games, and Rivera gets hurt, and we're heading down to Myrtle Beach down in South Carolina. I've never been there in my life. 100 degrees in July. I don't know why we went there in July.
Beverly was.
Yeah, exactly. She had some friends down there to go with. But Joe Torre calls me in the office and says, how long would it take you to get ready?
Wow.
And I thought he was joking. He said, no, seriously, how long will it take you to get ready?
Snap throw to first. Boy, nice play by Teixeira.
He said, I said, I don't know. And he said, we're talking over with Neville and see what happens. So we go down. Well, I'm on the beach.
Now, what month is this? July?
Yeah, it's like in July.
2002.
Yeah, yes, it is July, because I remember. Actually, this brings another story. Frank and Mayor were down there with us. I was on the beach on July 4th, getting dive bombed by mosquitoes, wondering why people vacation down here in the middle of July. And I'm out there throwing the ball and running sprints with Andy on the beach, thinking, you know, this is kind of weird. And then they ended up getting Raul Mondesi. So they must have had a scout down there on the beach. Didn't think I could do it anymore.
Did you actually consider it?
Well, I did consider it because I mean, it's kind of flattering to think, hey, you know, I could just come in for a half a year and fill in. but it did happen. And from what I hear, Joe Torre's in the ballpark today, so he could come up here and tell you.
Juan Rivera swings and misses. I have never heard that story.
Yeah, I was running sprints on the beach and chucking the ball as far as I could on the beach with Andy.
Were you excited about the possibility?
Yeah, it was kind of, I mean, I had my head spinning a little bit. Here I am on vacation, and I'm trying to lock into thinking maybe I could go play another month or so, but, you know, things happen for a reason. And
you could have asked for big bucks, too.
Well, obviously not. They went and signed somebody the next day. They didn't like the way I was running on the beach, I told you.
Jose Molina swings and misses. Runner goes, and they get Bautista.
We talked about it. I mean, Farrell said he's going to run in awkward times when you're down 5-0.
Paul, that doesn't make sense, though, to run there.
Yeah, well, I mean, every once in a while, and I think you've seen the game change a little bit lately. It used to be the old school, if you're losing, you never steal. But with 2 outs, Rivera up, I mean, your chances of a home run or something are, you know, it's much easier to score runs if you think you can steal a base by just a single. Until you get caught, then you look bad, right?
Popped up. Right field. And Swisher makes the play. So in the 4th, we learned that Paul O'Neill might have come back in 2002, and the Blue Jays go down in order. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see Yankees games live or on demand on your computer and your favorite devices. Visit Yankees.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. Well, that's going to do it for JoJo Reyes as John Farrell makes the call to the bullpen, brought to you by AT&T. And they'll bring on the rookie left-hander, Luis Perez.
It's funny, you look at Reyes, and I don't even know the kid, but you feel sorry for him for what he's going through, and it's got to be tough. And, you know, the average fan is like, you know, he's a Major League baseball player, he's living the life. But, you know, if you take this game serious, because it is serious, because it is your life, I mean, numbers and streaks and things that he's going through, I mean, they affect your life.
Although he's just tied the Major League record because he's not getting a win in this game. So 28 straight starts without a victory. Dates back to June 13th of 2008. Here's Andrew Jones, a 2-run home run in the 2nd inning. Pitch outside. Now you ready to fire off your answer to that trivia question? Mm-hmm. All right, wait a second. I want to refresh everybody's memory. Ground ball to Escobar, and he can't make the play. So a base hit for Andrew Jones. All right, this is the New York State Smokers Quitline quiz. Who's the only player, Paul, that hit at least 60 home runs for both the Yankees and the Blue Jays?
I say Dave Winfield.
I say Jesse Barfield.
That's ridiculous. You cheated. I walked out the room. Somebody told you in your ear.
I did not. I really thought it was him. He had some arm.
He did. Wow. How many Winfield have? He didn't have 60 home runs?
He wasn't with Toronto that long. And he was with him late in his career.
Make excuses. I screwed it up. That's all right.
Nunez hits one to left field. Patterson is there. Makes the play. You know who Jesse Barfield was traded for? Al Leiter.
Al Leiter.
That's right.
I mean, we just saw Nunez fly out. What, if you're Joe Girardi, what are your plans? You're starting to give Derek some days off as DH. You're giving Alex some days as DH. What would be your goal for Nunez at bat-wise, game-wise?
Actually, playing in the field, I'd say we probably want him to play 40 to 50 games, maybe 25 at short, 25 at third.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
40 games, so you're talking about trying to get him 200 at bats.
Yeah, they like it. And I think that he's more valuable by playing more.
Right.
You know, if you're going to take a kid and sit him on the bench, you can't expect him to produce when you just plug him in there.
That's a big question, you know, you have with some of the young phenoms, the catcher down in the minor leagues. You know, you can't bring him up as well as Russell Martin's doing. Just sitting, playing once a week or so. It's very tough. And I was in that situation as a minor leaguer. Very frustrating as a minor leaguer, a young kid where you think you're ready to play and there's no room for you. It so happens I was having one of my career years in the minor leagues, and Dave Parker was the everyday right fielder in Cincinnati, and he was making the All-Star team every year. So what, are you going to come up and take his job? No.
There's a strike. The Yankees like Nunez so much that they would not include him in the deal last year to try to get Chris Lee on the Mariners. Yankees playing the Mariners over the weekend, 3 games in Seattle. You know, we talked about this earlier, Paul. I'm not making that trip, but I'm going to be watching the games. The first 2 games, Michael Pineda is going to start on Friday, and then Felix Hernandez is going to start on Saturday. Those are 2 of the best young pitchers in baseball. Felix Hernandez is a Cy Young winner, so those are games you have to watch.
Right. And, I mean, everybody's watching him now because he's the guy that you think of an organization goes out and gets a pitcher to get him over the top. Everybody's first choice is Felix Hernandez. I'm just thinking back on what you said about the 25 games, Nunez at shortstop and third base. Alex Rodriguez, to me, is much more comfortable in the DH role than Derek Jeter at this point.
2-2.
Wow. You know, you just look at Alex, and he's a home run hitter. He's a power hitter. He gets his work in. Obviously, I know he's still an everyday third baseman, but Derek Jeter is just so used to being out there in the rhythm of the game. It just seems to me like it'd be a much harder thing. Well, I know it's a much harder thing. I've talked to him about it a little bit, that DH role. But it is something, and if you do it enough, I guess you do get a rhythm and a way of getting through.
Nice play by Perez with the runner going. So Jeter is out, and Andrew Jones moves to second. Off balance, but still made the play.
You saw early in the game, Derek's, you know, shot that ball to right field, lead off with a double, and you know that at bat right there. You know, he didn't have the balance he had the first inning. He was kind of looking. It looked like he was looking in a little bit, front hip opening up, and you just see there's nothing behind that swing, and that happens as hitters. I mean, every single at bat can't be your best. Unless you're Curtis Granderson, you just go up and hit doubles or home runs every time you walk to the plate. Right?
It's been amazing. 2 doubles and 2 at bats today.
I mean, you you just watch him hit and how close he is and how calm he is. It's just like nothing's in a hurry. That pitch right there, if you're struggling, you're lunging a little bit, you might swing at. It's just like he has all the time in the world to read whether strike or ball and what he wants to do with it.
That one's off the glove of Rivera, and he flips the Perez covering, and they finally retire Granderson, and that'll do it here in the fourth. No runs a hit, no errors, and one man left on base. We played 4. Yankees are up 5-0. As we go to the 5th inning, Aaron Hill will lead off against Freddie Garcia. And the pitch is high. Let's check out the Home Depot hitter scouting report on Aaron Hill.
A home run drought. I mean, this is a terrible thing to go through as a player, but he hasn't had a home run since September of last year. Returned to form. I mean, he's an ex-All-Star. 2009, he had 36 home runs and drove in 108 runs. And stay healthy. I mean, that's a big part of it, obviously. He was out early in this year with a hamstring injury. He had a concussion in 2008. He can do some things when he's healthy.
The 2-0. On the Kia scoreboard, it's 5-0 as we go to the top of the 5th. Hammered foul. And the 2-2. Loop to shallow right, and Cano backpedals to make the play. 5-0 Yankees lead. This is the happy zone of the year for Freddie Garcia. From April, or should I say May 5th of last season to July 18th, when he was at the White Sox, he was 9-1 with a 3.94. So the Yankees would like some of that.
Like said, heat.
I guess.
One.
Slow roller to first. Teixeira will take it himself. He beats Thames to the bag, 2-0.
Who's going to take this? Teixeira does the right thing, though. He's always, why make the throw if you don't need to?
Little dance move there. Yesterday was the the finale for Dancing with the Stars. Would you ever do that, Paul, if they came calling?
My wife says no.
She said you wouldn't do it?
Yeah, she said I wouldn't have a chance. I said, I took it, and my daughter thinks it's hilarious because every once in a while, my daughter's a dancer, right? So every once in a while I'll screw around in the kitchen and dance around, and she just shakes her head. It's like, no, don't even do it. So, it'd be hard.
That one dunks in there. Rajay Davis will pick up a double. Well, let me put it this way, Paul. I do the radio show for ESPN New York 1050. I am pleading with the people at ESPN ABC to call you to be on the next Dancing with the Stars. Pleading.
Really?
I would give up some of my salary to see you on that show.
I'm going to start training. I'm going to Fred Astaire when I get home. Start training a little bit. Huh?
Hines Ward won yesterday. All these ex-stars win. Emmett Smith won. Jerry Rice.
I know. They're good, though.
Yeah.
So I just wonder, is that something you can learn, or is it...
Well, you're an athlete.
Does that go into dancing? I don't know.
It seems like it does with all these football players with it.
Yeah, there has been no baseball players,
no.
right? What's up with that?
Well, because it's in the middle of baseball season. You're retired and you
those
hardly
guys
work here.
Hines Ward doesn't play anymore, didn't he retire?
No, he's still
active. I thought he retired.
No, he's locked out right now.
Well, yeah, they're all retired at this point.
I mean, we could get you some time off at Yes. It would be the highest rated show of all time.
Yeah. For one episode, because I might be gone, right?
That one has popped up. Shallow right. Long run for Cano. Smoothly makes the play for the final out of the fifth. No runs a hit, no errors, and one man left. Disney, call up O'Neill for Dancing with the Stars, please. Deck presented by Blimpie. Reliever David Robertson and former ace David Wells play bow and arrow baseball. You won't believe what happens. Plus, Derek Jeter with the latest captain's quiz. It's a new Yankees on deck this Sunday at noon, only on Yes. Shadow the Blimp.
I get the Blimp to take me home. That'd be cool, right?
I don't know if it'd be very fast, though.
It might take a while.
Yeah. Teixeira with a high fly ball to left center. And Rajay Davis makes a play.
You see the angle of the ball in left field. And anytime the center field can get over there and give you a little help, left fielder's not going to complain whatsoever. Yeah, let's just take an angle. Stay away from it. If you don't get close to it, they'll never think you can catch it, right?
People will forget, but when you got here, you played left field the first year.
I did. The Sun Field over in the old stadium. Danny Tartable was in right.
They had on the Danny Tartable Seinfeld yesterday.
He's in probably my top 2 or 3 guys, humor-wise, that I ever played with.
Really?
Oh, he was one of the most fun teammates I ever played with.
Somebody yelled ouch. I wonder if it was Alex anticipating getting hit.
Yeah, that's usually the hitter. You just trying to get out of the way and you expect it to hit you and it doesn't.
Count 1 and 2. Luis Perez comes on for Jojo Reyes. Reyes won 3 innings, gave up the 5 runs. You still getting your Seinfeld checks?
Yeah, it's like $53, $54 when it's there for the Screen Actors
So
Guild.
they just send it to the house?
Yeah.
Get a couple of those a year or what?
Yeah, it's not like they come in every day or something. You do get a couple a year. You know, it's more of a joke when you get them. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
Check swing, did he go? Yes, he did. So Alex down on strikes.
See Alex just out in front a little bit, kind of waving at that ball. Got out there too far, especially in a 5-0 game on the travel day. Tendency for that umpire to call that a swing. Now, Michael, you talked about the importance of yesterday's game and how it's rolled into it. You know, you end up, things go on the way they are right now, winning 2 out of 3 here from the Blue Jays. And you look at this next trip. Probably one of the tougher trips you'll have all year. You go out and play 9 or 10 days out on the West Coast. A lot of things can happen. It's an important time, important stretch for the Yankees right now.
And they hit all 3 stops. They'll play in Seattle, Oakland, and Anaheim. And that whole American League West is really bunched up. Nobody's running away with anything, so they're all still in it. And we mentioned the first 2 starting pitchers for the Mariners are 2 guys that have really generated a lot of buzz around baseball. Slow roller to short, charging is Escobar, and he gets Cano for the final out of the 5th inning. Yankees go down in order 1, 2, 3, and we will go to the 6th with the Yankees up 5-0. On Sunday, June 12th, when the Yankees take on the red-hot Indians, it's bat day. The first 10,000 guests 14 and younger will receive a mark to share a bat courtesy of Bank of America. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. Party deck here at Yankee Stadium. The cool thing when I was growing up, Paul, when they had bat day at the stadium, it wasn't one player. They handed out all player bats, and that was almost part of a trading thing. Oh, you got a Horace Clark? Well,
wow.
I want a Bobby Mercer.
I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
Oh, it was very cool.
So you could actually come in and get your bat, be excited, look at your player, and be disappointed.
Yes, exactly, and that's what life is about, Paul. You're going to have a lot of disappointments in life.
That's
so
right.
if you got yourself a Jerry Kenny, when you really wanted a Bobby Mercer, you were crushed the entire day.
And I know Bobby was your idol, so you wanted the Bobby Mercer.
And I never got the Bobby Mercer, and then when I started working with him, he actually signed a bat for me. He said, here, you finally got it.
I would like get in line, and if you didn't like the bat coming up, just kind of cough and move back a couple spaces until you saw Bobby Mercer on it, see?
You couldn't do that in New York. Maybe you could pull that in Cincinnati.
That didn't work here?
You get thrown out.
You guys are always trying to ditch line. You're not trying to move backwards, right?
The 1-2. Now, the things that I've learned today, everybody, I mean, I'm so thrilled to be doing this game with Paul. I learned that Joe Torre asked him to come back in 2002, or at least think about it. Never knew that.
He mentioned it, yeah.
He mentioned it, and you warmed up on the beach in Myrtle Beach. And
didn't go well.
Right.
Go ahead.
There's a ground ball to second. Canoa's there. I also learned that you'd probably be somewhat amenable to being on Dancing with the Stars. And then I find out during the break that you were actually asked to be on Donald Trump's Celebrity Apprentice.
Well, that was a few years ago, though.
And you turned him down? Why?
No, because there was a lot of time, and the time it involved being in New York for a specific amount of time, and I couldn't do it. But Donald Trump, I mean, I like the guy. He's my golf partner. I played some golf matches with him. He's a good partner too. He's good.
So that's still on the table if the timing works out.
I don't think I'd be good at that table, to tell you the truth. I'd get fired from that too.
You'd flip it over. Fired?
I watched this last one. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good.
Now, who won? Was it Marley Matlin or John Rich?
Yeah.
Country singer.
From Big and Rich.
Meatloaf was on that one. Gary Busey.
Oh, was he? Yeah, Gary Busey. Yeah.
The 0-1. 1-1. And we find out you get $541 every couple of months
no,
from Seinfeld.
$54.
Oh, 54. Oh, I'm sorry.
$54. Yeah.
Now, do you actually go to the bank and cash that check?
Yeah.
And you get the $54, you put it into your account.
It goes into my savings, which...
It's like a Christmas club.
I didn't realize why my wife's accounts have much more savings than mine do. Is there a reason for that?
I'm not sure.
Yeah? You're starting to know these things a little bit more now that we talk about it, right?
Yeah. But there's no conflict at all so far.
It's early.
Yeah, it's
You know, we're sitting up here just blabbing away, and Freddie Garcia's throwing a gem here. I mean, he's got these guys off balance. He's keeping the ball low. Talked about his last 5 outings haven't been his best, but this is back to the first couple games of the year where kept the ball down and kept people off base.
Patterson so far 0 for 2. And Garcia with a 3-2 count. And the right-hander deals. Lined into right field. And that's going to be a base hit. It goes to the auxiliary scoreboard. Playing it out there is Granderson. And he'll fire to second, but there already is Patterson with a double. Look at that swing at the Michael Jordan Invitational.
God, don't show the putt. I know it didn't go in.
Well,
I made one putt the whole time for an eagle. That had to be it.
Oh,
yeah, that wasn't it.
So close.
There was
That's
my
not
drive.
a good lie.
Yeah. See, that's what I thought. You know what? Let me tell you about this tournament. You had to hit your partner's ball sometime.
Okay.
So a lot of times when I was in the trees, it wasn't always my fault.
Was it a celebrity partner or?
Yeah, it was Janet Gretzky.
Really?
Yeah. So
that must have been awful.
You know what? I would invite you, but you told me you threw 180 up on the front nine, so you would not be a good partner.
Here's Jose Bautista.
What a great event that was. So.
Now you get a chance to talk with Jordan.
Oh yeah,
good guy.
Very, very nice guy to everybody that comes out there. Good golfer too. Beautiful venue this year out in Las Vegas. Where'd those cameras come from? Huh?
We've got cameras everywhere, I guess. Wow. Josh Isaac, our associate director, who dug it up. Ground ball to Nunez. Two away. Bautista now 4 for his last 24 over his last 7 games, so his first real slump of the year. And 3 of his 4 hits were home runs. I want to aggravate Al Leiter. Watch the swing. This is Leiter's swing.
Oh, he's collapsing a little bit. That's not good. You know, pitcher. There you go.
Got the guns on.
Yeah. Pitchers are supposed to be better golfers. They have far more time than we do when we're playing, right?
There's Juan Rivera with a runner at second. Top of the 6th inning. Yankees up 5-0. Hammered and past the diving Nunez. That's going to score Patterson. An RBI single for Rivera. So the Blue Jays are on the board. Yankees lead is now 5-1. Rivera hit that very hard.
See that ball? That's one of the first pitches you've seen in an important situation, that he got up in the strike zone. Pretty much what Reyes did with the Blue Jays early in the game. Balls up in the strike zone, guys are going to get great swings off of him. Ball's hit hard. Andrew does the right thing. Don't even try to throw home. Just throw it to second. The guy on first base.
The 0-1. 0-2.
Once in a while you see that's a split-fingered fastball, but I mean it drops so much that it almost looks like a curveball. And Freddie Garcia, every once in a while you'll see that we were talking early in the game, that split finger will, there's really no rhyme or reason if it's going to go down, if it's going to slide. There it goes again. I mean, it's just, that's his out pitch.
So Molina down on strikes. The Blue Jays score a run on 2 hits, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's 5-1 Yanks. New WB Mason presents the Joe Girardi Show. This year marks the 15th anniversary of the Yankees' 1996 World Series winning season, and David Cohn will sit down with the skipper to remember the magic. It's a new Joe Girardi Show this Sunday at 8, only on Yes. You remember the magic?
I do. It was a special day.
There's Russell Martin. And there's a strike. Was there a point in the season when you said we could win?
I mean, yeah, there's always a point in the season, right? And I always, you know, as soon as you get in the summer months, you have a good feel of what this team is capable of doing. And you also get a feel of the personality of the team. You can have pretty much the same team, but every single year it kind of has a different drive or a different personality.
You think you would have won in '94 without the strike?
You know what? I love that team. Looking back, I mean, the camaraderie of that team was good. I remember guys Mike Stanley, Mike Gallego, Randy Velarde. Those were just good people, and it just came to. It seems like everything was coming together that year. Could we put that like through video baseball and find out if we'd won?
I'm sure. The one thing, though, if you remember, when the strike hit in August, the Yankees were losing their lead a little bit to the Orioles. You don't know if Jimmy Key would have been able to pitch.
Right.
He had arm problems. 3-1. Russell Martin hits one deep to left field. Backing up Patterson. He's on the track. He'll make the play in front of the wall for the first out.
Remember John Wetland when he came over here, because he was with the Montreal Expos in '94, and they were having a great year. And we used to always kind of razz him that, you know, we had won the World Series that year, and he'd come right back thinking the Expos were going to. So,
you know, we all talk about the Yankees could have been rooked out of a World Series in '94. Baseball ended in Montreal because of that strike. Because if the Expos would have gone to the World Series,
probably would have changed.
Could have
everything.
saved the city,
yeah,
for the baseball for that city. Here's Nick Swisher. He is 0 for 2. He needs a hit. He's 0 for his last 14. And when you go on a long road trip, you want to be able to have something good on that 6-hour flight to Seattle.
He's missed a couple pitches, and earlier we were talking about how you get out of a kind of a season-long funk is just to start having 3, 4, 5 good at bats in the same day. It's hard. It's easy to say, hard to do when you haven't got to that point yet. But he's missed a couple pitches early. Needs to just fight back and have a couple good at bats before he gets on that plane today.
There's a strike. Perez came on a relief of JoJo Reyes. This is Perez's 3rd inning of work. Yankees looking for their 27th win. They're 26-21. Grounded foul.
See, that's an anxious hitter right there. That's a 3-1 pitch. Obviously, you're in a hitter's count, but that ball's up a little bit out of the zone, and now you've put yourself in a position 3-2. And last year when everything was rolling right, you see that ball's up in the zone a little bit. He would have taken that walk, and it's frustrating as a hitter because walks don't show up in your batting average, and that's what you're trying to work on.
He gets a walk right there. Yankees lead the Red Sox and the Rays in the American League East. They lead everybody, obviously. The Red Sox, a half game out, and the Red Sox are running away from Cleveland today. And the Rays, in a rain delay, they're trailing Detroit 2-0. Blue Jays 2.5 back. If they lose this, it'll be 3.5. And the Orioles hanging right there. So it's bunched up in the AL East. So here's Andrew Jones. He has 2 hits today. Deep drive center field. Davis back. Still back. Looking up. See ya. A home run into Monument Park for Andrew Jones. A 2-run shot. And the Yankees lead 7-1.
You look it over Andrew Jones' career, even with the Atlanta Braves in his younger days, dead fastball hitter, loves a fastball. There used to be, you couldn't throw a fastball by him. He's a little older, but that ball right there, fastball outer half, still shows. I mean, to get it out of here, they talk about the new Yankee Stadium being a home run ballpark, possibly to right center, I agree, but to center field, you still have to put something into it to get it out of here.
Eduardo Nunez takes outside.
See the difference of him, he's kind of that back leg hitter, that guy that kind of leans back, typical home run swing.
Last time that Andrew had a 2-home run game, May 1st of last year. The 1-1. Hot shot to third. Knicks. For the second out. Bartolo Colon is going to start Monday in Oakland. Joe Girardi decided to go with CC Sabathia on Sunday in Seattle.
I thought that was interesting too, because it gave him an extra day. You looked at his last start, the first 5 innings, he was so good, and in that 6th inning, it looked like he got tired, his arm started dropping. By giving him that extra day, you might get him back to where he can give you 7 innings.
Those are the matchups this weekend. Burnett and Pineda, 6-2, 2.16 throws hard. Nova against the reigning Cy Young Award winner, and then Sabathia against Jason Vargas. And they'll also get a chance to see Ichiro. How good in your mind is Ichiro?
Well, I mean, when he came up, it didn't take me long to be impressed with it, because he could do everything. He was so fast. I mean, his swing, everybody knows how he kind of bails out and swings. Tremendous hitter, but I mean, outfielder, defensively, great arm, and just great instincts as a baseball player. And we were talking between the break. I mean, he'll probably be the first guy to be in the Hall of Fame in Japan and the U.S.
He's going to get to 3,000 hits.
Yeah, which is amazing when you played as long as he did over in Japan. Georgie told me, Jorge Posada told me the first time that he came to the plate, he came over here, he had somewhat of a language barrier, obviously. He played in Japan his whole life. And he walked up to the plate and he looked at Georgie and he said, "Que pasa?" Just out of nothing, out of nowhere.
Well, one day, our former colleague, Jim Cott, walked up to him behind the batting cage. And he looked at Cott and he goes, "My brother from another mother." So he's got like these phrases down. But you'll see all those games on Yes this weekend. It should be a good series. Should be a good road trip. Interesting. Very telling.
This is the old-fashioned road trip. Mm-hmm. When you go to the West Coast, you play every team and you come home. And now, the last few years, you'd go out and play Oakland, then you'd come to Texas, and then you'd go back out later and play Anaheim. This is the way it used to be, where you would go out and knock all 3 teams out while you're out on the West Coast.
Derek Jeter works a walk.
See, Perez has a little bit of trouble locating that fastball, but he has a great arm. I mean, he's been in the mid-90s. That was 92 there with a lot of movement.
Yankees make 2 West Coast trips this year. This one upcoming, and then they have one in September, which is kind of odd to have it in September. And that'll be weird because you play 2 West Coast teams, and then on your way back, you play Toronto.
Yeah.
Here's Curtis Granderson. He is 2 for 3 with 2 doubles. Pitch inside.
See a lot of movement on Perez's fastball. And looking back, the only straight ball that he's thrown is the ball that went out to dead center field off Andrew Jones' bat.
And it got Granderson on the way by. If you're going to get hit, that's the way. So Jeter will move to 7. Wow, got him on the shirt. Now we'll see the shirt on Yesmo. Oh, that's the way to go. Bruce Walton talking things over with Perez. This comprehensive telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. Well, that's going to bring up Mark Teixeira. Reached on an E4 in the first, then a bullet home run to left, a 2-run shot in the third, then flied out to center in the 5th. First and second for the Yankees are up 7-1. Off speed. Teixeira's hit well against Toronto so far this year. 367, 3 homers, and 6 ribbies. Mark at 256, 13 home runs and 32 runs batted in. Reaching base 36.7% of the time. On base percentage closing on 370. There's a ground ball to short. Backhanded by Escobar. He goes the short way. And Hill somehow kept his foot on the bag to get the force. But the A's get 2 runs on Andrew Jones' home run. In fact, today, Andrew Jones has 2 home runs. That's the one in the second. And this one's at dead center field. Lands at Monument Park. And gives the Yankees a 7-1 lead. The week is presented by Kia Motors. To learn more, visit kia.com. Nice way to spend a day on a boat. And if you're not on the boat, we thank you for spending it with us here on the Yes Network at Yankee Stadium.
I need to adjust our TV. Or is that River Brown?
It's brown.
Is it for a reason?
A lot cleaner than it used to be. Cadillac scoreboard 7-1. Yankees over the Blue Jays. Aaron Hill takes a strike from Freddie Garcia. Line to left field. It's a base hit. Andrew Jones fields and comes up throwing. No, that's not Andrew out there. Now they have replaced Andrew with Chris Dickerson. So Dickerson makes a throw in.
Again, you see, as good as Garcia's been all day, when he misses up in the zone, he does not have that overpowering stuff. And again, this is a pitch that he missed up in the zone, base hit. So the ball just has that split finger just kind of hanging. When he gets it down, it has great movement. Just shows you how good he's been today, because when he misses up, it gets hit hard. And, you know, he's given up 5 hits and 1 run on his game today.
Eric Thames 0 for 2. Count 1-1. That one is driven into right center field. That's going to be a base hit, and it's going to go to the wall. Aaron Hill is at third. They're going to wave him home. He'll score easily. It's an RBI double for Eric Thames, and the Yankees now lead 7-2.
So, Michael, you said Thames. I mean, this ball again, off-speed pitch, kind of down the middle of the plate, hit hard. For Brian Butterfield, you make sure that Aaron Hill, after you're just coming off in a hamstring injury, you make sure he's got plenty of time to score.
So Thames picks up his 4th RBI since being called up from AAA Las Vegas, and here is Rajay Davis. Count 1-0.
You know how you look at some players and just think that they could do a lot for a team, and Rajay Davis comes to mind. I mean, his speed and his defense is really good, where, you know, if he could hit 280 and he'd score a lot of runs, really help this team.
Right now he's at 263. Foul back. David Robertson warming for the Yanks. Now, Paul, I'm here a lot more than you are here at the ballpark, but you're a little bit more observant than I am. So let me ask you something. Looking at the Yankee bullpen, and I see a big bench that's in front of the wall where the players could sit. I've never seen that there before. Have you?
No, it's new.
It is new. So I guess when the weather got nice, that's
what it's all about.
Just sitting there hanging out, watching the game. I like it. The 1-2. Punched out right side. Teixeira bobbles, and that cost him the play. Rajay Davis is too fast.
You just talk about speed right there, and that's why you see big swings from guys with that good a speed. It frustrates you as an organization, because you want the ball on the ground. You want the ball. You want the infielders to move, to make mistakes. I mean, that's not even close. That's Mark Teixeira knocks it down, 9 times out of 10. You just flip, tag out. I mean, that isn't even close.
I'm not sure that Garcia would have gotten there, even if he didn't bobble. He just beat Garcia to the bag.
Looked like he was in about 4th gear there, and he had another one to go to.
I think they're going to give him a hit on that. It is a base hit. So 1st and 3rd, still nobody out. There's Jason Nix. Rajay Davis goes. No throw, stolen base.
Well, again, with no outs, down 5 runs, does that surprise you that Davis would steal?
No, because I think he knew he was going to make it without the throw. They didn't want to have the guy come from 3rd. So no, it doesn't surprise me.
I have no problem. If I was a manager, I think I would run more when I'm down. In the old school, you always never get thrown out, but I think that add a couple runs here, a couple runs there.
There's a run
back in the game.
And now it's 7-3 as Davis moves to 3rd. Thames scores. So now on another out, you can make it 7-4.
Exactly. So I think sometimes it's worth a chance. Obviously, you don't want your non-base stealers trying to steal bases when you're down, but guys that are good at it, that you trust are going to get good jumps and steal and make it. I don't think that you have to necessarily shut down the running game when you get behind.
Well, now Joe Girardi is going to go to his bullpen. Freddie Garcia gives him 6 in the 3rd, leaves a runner on 3rd base with 1 out. Yankees are up 7-3. Garcia gets a nice hand from the crowd, and David Robertson will jog in and face Yunel Escobar. This game still hanging in the balance with the Yankees leading by 4. players would you least like to face with the game on the line? You've been voting at 58-7-7-2, and let's see how you voted. 49% don't want to see Jose Bautista. Adrian Gonzalez, 36%. Guerrero, 10%. Longoria, 5%. I think I'd rather face Guerrero than Longoria.
Yeah.
But you can't argue with the other votes.
Freddie Garcia, good outing. Got a lead early. You could tell he was just starting to get a little tired, starting to leave some balls up. But again, I mean, Freddie Garcia is not your #1 starter anymore. You get 6 1/3 from him with a lead. You got to feel pretty happy if you're Larry Rothschild or Joe Girardi.
Runner at third base with 1 out. Yankees play the infield back except for Teixeira. Now Nunez is coming in as well. And the ground ball is to Nunez. And they have him in a rundown. And the out is made. And moving to second is Escobar. Nice play by Nunez. Heads up. He ran right at Rajai Davis.
Nunez took an angle where Davis was going to go back. You see, he's almost going on contact, but right here, he took an angle straight back, which really was the key to the play to make the out.
It's time for the GE Capital Partner Play. Great partnerships are built on trust at GE Capital. We prove that every day.
And you know, makes the play, knows he's, but if he lets that ball go to home, Davis will get back to third, but he cut him off, took the angle away. What do you call that, Michael, in the old days? Is that a hot box or is that a pickle? Depends on where you are in the country.
Pickle.
In a pickle? See, in the Midwest, you're in the hot box. You ever play hot box?
No.
Yeah. Just intentionally did that out in the backyard with 3 people. Somebody was in the middle and you had to get him out. Called it hot box.
You had to get him out.
Yeah.
We called it. We had a game in the Bronx called Monkey in the Middle.
Were you the monkey?
Well, you try. If you were a monkey, you were the monkey in the middle. You would try to you throw a ball back and forth, and you try to intercept it. So the guy who threw it, he would become the monkey.
I think I played that game. I didn't like that game. I mean, you just throw it high over the guy's head. There's no chance.
Well, not everybody is as good an athlete as you.
I think in those days, it's over.
On that beach in Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, exactly. That was my last shot. Man on second, runner in scoring position. Big out here. You know, 4 runs. You still good job by Robertson.
Good job indeed as he leaves a runner stranded at third. But the Blue Jays scored 2 runs on 3 hits. 1 man left at the end of 6.5. Time for the 7th inning stretch. Yankees lead the Blue Jays 7-3. But we're going to stay right here to honor America in the Bronx.
Offer a moment of silent prayer as we remember the servicemen and women who are serving our country at home and around the globe. Thank you. Now join in Kate Smith's rendition of God Bless America.
To the old
Brought to you by Verizon Fios. Get the ultimate in entertainment on the Ultimate Network. Fios, a network ahead. This is a game I'm tuning in for on Friday. A.J. Burnett, 5-3, 4.02. And Michael Pineda, he's a talk of baseball. He can really bring it. Throws hard, 6-2, 2.16. Our coverage begins at 9:30 on Yes Game Time, right around 10:05. Cadillac scoreboard, 7-3. Yankees lead. New shortstop for the Blue Jays, John McDonald, takes over for Yunel Escobar. Luis Perez still in there. He deals outside to Alex Rodriguez. Popped up. Long balls helped the Yankees today. 2 home runs, 2-run shots each by Andrew Jones, then a 2-run shot by Mark Teixeira. So 6 right there out of the 7. Job of Chamberlain warming for the Yankees.
You gave the stats of A-Rod, how hot he was, coming into this series, and usually you progressively, have a couple at bats here or there, but he hasn't had a series at the plate that you expected the way he came into this series.
There's a base hit.
See, talk about it. He wakes up, smokes one into left.
Leadoff single for Alex Rodriguez. Aerial coverage today brought to you by DirecTV. Get every MLB game and the most in HD. Call 1-800-DirecTV. This was the view from above on Andrew Jones' home run. What a great shot, settling right into Monument Park. Good job by the crew in the blimp. Be able to follow that baseball so beautifully. Here's Robinson Cano. Grounded through the left side for a base hit. So Cano with his first hit of the afternoon. First and second, nobody out.
The first night we looked at his swing in slow motion, and last night he had the most perfect swings last night. You can just see Robbie Cano get real close to going on one of those tears again where he just has good at bat after good at bat. His bat stand level through the zone. This is a high pitch too. Off a lefty, just drive it the other way. Good swing.
Here's Russell Martin. He's walked twice and flied out to left. Leads all major league catchers with 9 home runs. Got something in his eye. Wally Bell quickly called timeout. Sean Camp warming for the Blue Jays. Pitch outside. Foul back, 1-1.
It's good to see the Yankees. You give the Blue Jays, they get back in the game, so to speak, scores a couple runs, and all of a sudden, offensively, you're right back at them. A couple base hits, setting up scoring. This inning again. Just got a very important text, Michael.
From?
My son Aaron. I'm officially out of high school. Took his last exam.
Wow.
Remember that day? Huh? What a relief, right?
Good times.
Yeah.
He's going to college, too. He's going to a tough college.
Yeah. Tougher on him. He might have to open a book or two, huh?
Furman, right?
Right.
The 1-1. Popped up. Infield fly was called, but Rivera puts it away. Time for the game summary brought to you by your local Nissan dealer. 7-9-0, leading 3-8-2. Andrew Jones is 3 for 3, 2 home runs and 4 ribbies. Teixeira 1 for 4, 2-run home run. Freddie Garcia 6 1/3. He's the pitcher of record on the winning side. 8 hits, 3 runs. Didn't walk a batter. That's important. And 4 strikeouts.
Go back to the losing side, Michael. What we have at stake here too, Reyes.
That's right. He will tie the major league record, 28 straight starts without a win. So Aaron's going to have to open up the books, and let's be honest, you're going to have to open up the checkbook.
Yeah, that usually goes hand in hand, right?
College is expensive now.
Every once in a while, I mean, you look at Perez, and I mean, how he throws the ball, what kind of movement he gets on the ball. This is a kid that, you know, you just hope he can really zone in on the strike zone, because when he's in that, when he has that velocity and movement, it can be tough.
That one's out of play.
He throws a lot of fastballs. It looks like for him to be really nasty on lefties, he's going to have to learn, you know, either to cut that fastball or to throw a good slider. It's the job of your pitching coach and obviously your manager. That must be kind of weird, being an ex-pitching coach becomes a manager, then you hire another pitching coach, you know, and you can't second guess. You got to be on the same page as what's going on with your pitchers.
I wonder how that works, Paul, because John Farrell was considered such an outstanding pitching coach. And since that's a strength of it, it's almost like in football. You know, Rex Ryan, he's a big part of the Jet defense, right, because he was a great defensive mind. Just because the head coach, he hasn't backed off. I think Farrell has to have say.
Yeah, I think you do have say. I mean, you're the manager, but you always are going to have that feeling like, you know, this is what I know, but you do have to trust somebody. But you have so many other jobs as a manager that you have to, you know, you do have to delegate some stuff out.
Count 3-2 to Swisher. Swisher's 0 for 2 today with a walk and a run scored.
Well, you look back, and you might know this, I don't know, to tell you the truth. You look back at the history of baseball. I mean, back in the 40s, 50s, I mean, did they have pitching coach, hitting coach? Did they have all these coaches like they do today?
No, they did not have specialized coaches like that. They had coaches, they had first base coaches too.
That was it.
But I think that was pretty much it.
And the manager pretty much probably helped the pitchers, and they pretty much did everything.
Little conference on the mound. It amazes me that Jose Molina just covered his mask with his glove as if we could actually read his lips through the mask and in another language. You can't even see his mouth, and he still covered his face.
Don't want to let those secrets out there, especially with runners in scoring position.
Runners go. Swing and a miss.
And another frustrating day for Nick Swisher. And, you know, sometimes you know, a change of scenery can help. Maybe going out to the West Coast, but again, as a hitter, you love these opportunities, drive-in runs. Then you swing through a fastball. Looks like he almost foul tipped it. Looks like he did foul tip it into the catcher's glove.
Well, they're saying that he held on to it long enough, and he dropped it on the transfer. So a double steal, Alex with a stolen base, and Cano with one as well. Here's Chris Dickerson, who was brought in for defense. Andrew Jones had a great day.
That's that slider I was talking about earlier to the lefties. I mean, that, you know, if you're a lefty watching Perez pitch, you're coming up, you're thinking nothing but fastballs, and then he'll lock you up with that slider right there. If he can learn to throw that for a strike and still have that good fastball, then he's going to be able to bury that fastball in under the hands of lefties. Another good slider.
You wonder if there's something wrong with Jones. Now, I know Jones is far from the player he was defensively, but with the lead that they had, why would they bring in Dickerson for Jones, and now he has to face this lefty, and didn't look good doing it. As he swings and misses, Molina gets an angle, makes the play, and that'll do it. So the Yankees leave 2 runners on. They pick up 2 more hits. We go to the 8th. The Yankees lead 7-3. Hurry up, get there. K&R Music and Computer World, and by Ford, the official truck of the New York Yankees. Yankees lead this one by a score of 7-3. So it's going to make it difficult, but today and throughout the Yankee season on Yes, we're asking you to vote along with us for the Chevy Player of the Game. Text your vote to 58772 or vote online at YesNetwork.com. Today's candidates are all worthy. Number 1, Freddie Garcia. Number 2, Andrew Jones. Number 3, Mark Teixeira. Number 4, Curtis Granderson. Vote now and make your voice heard. Standard text messaging rates apply. Who you vote for?
Andrew Jones hit 2 home runs today. No? Little spot start, 2 home runs, 1 in Monument Park. I think I got to give it to him.
I think I would agree with you. Jabba Chamberlain comes on. He's going to pitch the 8th.
Yeah, the 23 innings and 4 walks. Pretty darn good. Jabba Chamberlain this year.
Jose Bautista shows bunt, takes outside. Bautista 0 for 2 and was hit by a pitch. Yesterday he was 0 for 4. See the Hyundai scoreboard 7-3. He had a home run his first time up in the first game, and since then the Yankees have handled him. They walked him, they intentionally walked him, and since then he has not gotten a hit.
You know, it's amazing. 97 right there. It's amazing to think, though. You know, we were talking the first game when, you know, where the Blue Jays won, that, you know, they're close. They're a very good team. But you take, you know, some of his offensive numbers out of this lineup, and they're a completely different team. And can you expect him to hit 350 and hit 50 home runs every year? I don't know. That
one is hammered down the left field line. Brett Gardner in for defense. Will play it off the wall. Bautista makes a big turn. He'll stop right there. So Gardner in and left, and Dickerson moves from left to right as Swisher gets the rest of the day off.
I just love Bautista's swing. You just see he's ready. He gets that foot down with that leg kick. He's got great balance. See that knee comes back, the hip stays square. Boy, he gets through the ball.
That's a pretty high leg kick, right?
Yeah, yeah. You have to have a lot of balance to be able to use that. Big advantage, though, if you can, because it keeps your weight back, keeps you behind the ball.
Jabba deals. Breaking ball. You know, Paul mentioned the Blue Jay offense, and I know Adam Lind is out. and I don't mean to pick on one specific person, but the true evaluation of your lineup is Jose Molina is batting 5th.
Right.
And when he was on the Yankees, every time he played, he batted 9th. And that's really the type of player Jose is. He's a defensive player, and they're batting 5th. So this is a team that's going to struggle to score runs. That's why they run at all times in any situation.
I just wonder if, John Farrell wanted to keep everybody as is. I mean, Jose Molina doesn't play every day. Aaron Sebia had a great series. Got some big hits, drove in some runs. But you're right. It does kind of jump out at you when Molina's hitting 5th.
Molina was 8 for 20 against Garcia. I'm sure that had something to do with it, but he's still not considered a real good hitter. Job at 96 out of the zone. Grounded to short. Jeter goes to second one. On to first. It's a double play.
Big double play there. Jeet gives him a good feed, and Robbie Cano, just getting rid of the ball at second base, he is so good at. Leg out of the way with Bautista sliding in there.
Cano has several ways that he protects himself. Sometimes he'll just scoot toward the shortstop side. Sometimes he'll stop and go up in the air. That time he used the bag to protect himself, and as Paul said, kicked his leg up. So he backs up.
A lot of times he needs to go overhand there, so he had to get his leg over. A lot of times as a second baseman, he'll drop down so low. As a runner, when you're coming in there and you see that guy down low with the ball, you've got to get down.
Foul back to the screen. See, Robbie steps back, uses the bag as protection, and then does a little balletic move. Robbie might actually battle you for a spot on Dancing with the Stars.
I figured it didn't take long. Robbie can do a lot of things. I know that, especially on a baseball field. Look at it. Does he have a weakness?
No.
He's a great fielder, great hitter. He really doesn't have a hole at the plate that he can't handle.
It's not a weakness, but I guess he's not ultra fast.
Yeah, not a base stealer.
But he's certainly not slow, doesn't clog up the bases. He's pretty good.
I'd say, I love to watch him hit. I've seen him 3-4 years now, and I still look forward to when he goes up to the plate.
Count 3-2 on Molina. Molina 0 for 3 so far today with 2 strikeouts. Struck out in the second, flied out to right in the fourth, and struck out in the sixth. Here he is in the eighth. 2 outs and nobody on. Yankees up 7-3. And he walks.
As a pitcher, you really have to have a lot of confidence that you can throw that breaking ball over in that 3-2 count, especially with a 4-run lead.
Right now on YesNetwork.com, you can track Roger Maris's record-breaking 1961 season. Go to YesNetwork.com/Maris for daily updates and a look back at the historic home run chase. Plus, follow Derek Jeter's quest for 3,000 hits. It's all just a click away at YesNetwork.com. Aaron Hill digs in, swings at the first pitch and pops it up. Sun and wind wreaking havoc as Dickerson makes the play for the final out. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left. Let's go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Yankees up 7-3. Yankees up 7-3, but we need a Paul O'Neill game summary. Some of the things we've learned today. You almost made a comeback in 2002. You've turned down an invitation to be on Donald Trump's Celebrity Apprentice. You're hoping
these are false
for an invite to Dancing with the Stars.
This is all you. Did you write this up?
And you're still receiving $54 Seinfeld royalty checks.
Yeah.
So we've learned a lot.
I'll admit to that one.
Well, you turned down Celebrity.
This is not. I almost did. We talked about it. Turned down. I don't know if I turned it down. We talked about it, and hoping, it's. So, your paper just got graded. That's an F.
You know what? If you're taking this, everybody, or DVR, and go back, I'm right on those. That's a Paul O'Neill game summary.
We got a little geyser out there. What's going on out there?
I don't know. Something in Central Park, but it looks great. Hyundai scoreboard 7-3. It's a beautiful day. Sean Camp is the new pitcher for the Blue Jays, and he deals to Eduardo Nunez. There's the strike. Hammered to left field. Patterson will make the play. Let's take a look at the numbers on Camp. 20 games, good ERA. Hit per inning, not too many walks. Good numbers. Logan and Mariano Rivera. Mariano has not pitched since last Wednesday. Long stretch without an appearance. It's weird with closers. It's either feast or famine. You could use them 3-4 days in a row, and then there's just no opportunity.
And early in the year it happened. I mean, he was in he had a lot of close games. He had a lot of saves, a lot of save opportunities.
Derek Jeter has been a great hitter from the 6th inning on. How good this year? .352.
This is a big at bat as a hitter in your mind, because you're 1 for 3. 1 for 4 is not a great day. 1 for 3 is okay, but if you get a hit here, 2 for 4, you get on the plane, you think you had a great day.
Count 2-2. What'd you do in a long flight? Did you read? Did you sleep?
I used to. That's back when the little movie things were out.
Right.
Watch a movie or two, especially on the West Coast. Used to drive Joe Girardi crazy because I'd bring a pair of drumsticks and work on the paradiddles on. Little drumming patterns and stuff.
Yeah.
I would drum on the back of his seat. Just for fun. Play cards. Love playing cards. Makes the flights go a lot quicker, believe me.
Drumming on the back of his chair must have been a thrill for him.
Ask him about it.
I will. He had dark hair until O'Neill started playing drums on the back of his seat in the flight.
Metropolitan Grill, is that still the hot spot out there?
That's the big hot spot in Seattle. Great, one of the best restaurants in the country. 3-2. My sources tell me John Sterling will be there tonight and tomorrow. Well, I'd like the Chateaubriand for 2 for 1.
Susan. They must have the sun in their eyes in their booth, huh?
Or they're just really cool.
They're cool. We already knew that.
As Jeter works a walk. So how does that day stack up, Paul? 1 for 3 with 2 walks. Is that all right?
Yeah, it's much better. 1 for 3 is much better than 1 for 4. Because if you do the math, if you're a 333 hitter, you're great.
Right.
250, you're borderline. So good at bat.
Got to stick around after the last out for the WB Mason postgame. Bob Lorenz and Kimberly Jones break down this finale of the Blue Jays, and they bring you the latest news from around the league. Plus, hear the team's reactions from the clubhouse. It's all coming up on the WB Mason postgame. It's only on Yes. Here is Curtis Granderson. 2 for 3 today. That was hit by a pitch. And a strike. Each team with 9 hits, but the Yankees with the long ball have struck the decisive blows. 2 two-run home runs by Andrew Jones, a 2-run home run by Mark Teixeira. He's counted for 6/7 of their runs. 6/7. Try that twice. Jeter gets back. Look at the series he's had against the Blue Jays. 6 for 10, 2 ribbies, 6 runs scored. And he was walked 3 times and hit by a pitch.
A big stolen base last night in the bottom of the 9th, too.
Hot shot foul.
Uh-oh.
Now, would that annoy you as a right fielder if the ball boy missed it and you had to trudge after it?
You see Bautista, you got to give it to a fan, trying to make a friend out there. It annoyed you as a ball boy, I'm sure, because you were just on camera and you just booted it.
And you're probably trying to impress those young ladies right there, and you booted the ground ball, and now they're giving you the business, and they're texting about it.
That's right. You could have been on Sports Center. Remember a few years ago we had one of the ball boys on Sports Center, play of the day.
High fly ball right field. Drifting back is Bautista. He puts it away for the second out. So here's Mark Teixeira. Mark is 1 for 4, but the one was a 2-run home run, a bullet into the seats and left. Now he's batting from the left side against the righty Sean Kemp. Took something off there, way out in front. The attendance here on a Wednesday matinee, 43,201. Yankees continue to lead the American League in attendance. The 0-1. And they're second in the big leagues to the Philadelphia Phillies. Logan and Rivera.
One of them's getting work and one of them's coming in. We just got to figure out which is which. I would think Mariano would win an inning or 2.
You would think. Line drive. And that'll do it. So now we'll check to see who's coming in the bottom of the 9th. It's 7-3. They're not tipping their hands just yet. That means you're going to have to come back here on Yes to find out who will pitch the 9th. The season when they head to Seattle to take on the Mariners. Complete coverage starts at 9:30 with the Tri-State Ford pregame. Then Ken Singleton and David Cohn will bring you the call. Yankees Mariners, it all starts Friday at 9:30 only on Yes. Well, we are witnessing history here at Yankee Stadium. Mariano Rivera will appear at this moment in his 1,000th career regular season game. He's the first pitcher in big league history to appear in 1,000 games for one team, and he's the 15th big league pitcher to ever appear in 1,000 games. Here's Eric Thames. There's striking. You were there for the first one in '95, Paul, and here you are for the 1,000.
And you know what? You figure what, about 950 of them have been unbelievable. He's just been so consistent, so good. Deserves everything good said about him. He deserves it.
Eric Thames leads off with a single to center field. So Rivera, who has not pitched since Wednesday, gives up a leadoff single. That's going to bring up Rajay Davis. Pitch outside. This is not a save situation for Mo. He just needs to work. Yankees are up by 4. Blue Jays have actually out-hit the Yankees in this game, 10-9. And the Yankees are leading 7-3 in the column that counts. On 1 and 2.
In my mind, Mariano is the best closer of all time. We have any argument there?
No.
Then, I mean, you got Eckersley, Trevor Hoffman.
That one is looped into shallow right. Dickerson will make the play. Hey, you could have an argument with Eckersley any time that he pitched.
Right.
But, you know, Mariano's done it since 1995.
Yeah.
Incredibly, I don't think anybody could ever do it that long again. And although Trevor Hoffman has more saves, Trevor Hoffman did not do well in a lot of big situations. Yeah. Mariano has excelled throughout the postseasons. He's had his big blow-ups in '97 and Game 7 in 2001, but I don't know if the Yankees win 5 World Series during this time.
I've told many people the rings that we have at home, we would not have them if Mariano was not on that team. We wouldn't have all of them, I guarantee it. He meant so much to those teams because he became more than a closer. It was, you know, the last 6-7 outs at times.
Encarnacion pinch hitting for Knicks, takes a pitch up and in. That's right. Not holding on. Well, they are holding on things. High fly ball. Deep right center. Drifting back is Granderson. He'll make the play for the second out as the Blue Jays are down to their final out.
Mariano, will he be the last player to wear 42? Is there another player in the major leagues?
The last guy.
Be the last guy.
Granderson staring right into the sun, and he struggled as the ball settled into his glove.
We talked about early in the game, left field, sun dead in your eyes, but as the game goes on, obviously the sun moves, it becomes more difficult for the center field late in the game.
Sebia, his first at bat. He's actually pinch hitting for John McDonough. And now the Blue Jays are down to their final strike. Rubber game of this 3-game set for the Yankees. They won 2 out of 3 from the Mets. Looking to win 2 out of 3 from the Blue Jays before they head to the West Coast to begin a 3-city, 9-game tour. Crowd on its feet. The 0-2. He struck him out. Ball game. Put it in the left column. The Yankees win 7-3. So Mariano in his 1,000th regular season appearance, first pitcher ever to do that with just one team, gets the final 3 outs as the Yankees win this one 7-3. Stick around for the postgame show to find out who's today's Chevy player of the game. Funny moment right there as you see Laz Diaz, one of the umpires, walk past Mariano and shook his hand as Mariano took his turn in the receiving line. He's an amazing pitcher. He's had an amazing career. Started in '95, drafted by the Yankees. A Yankee who started as a starter. There's that handshake with Laz Diaz, and then became a reliever. And that's the kind of appreciation a guy like Mo has, even with the umpires. Never complains about a call, nothing like that. As the Yankees with a big win last night, they carried it over into a victory this afternoon in a Wednesday matinee, and they beat the Blue Jays 7-3. 7-9-0, beating 3-10-2. And it looks like our very own Kimberly Jones has flagged down the Yankee closer. Kim?
That's right, Michael. What are we talking about? We're talking about you, but let's start with the team. I know you'd prefer that.
There you go.
There took 2 out of 3 in this series, 2 out of 3 from the Mets. How would you sum up this homestand?
It was a great homestand. You know, besides against the Red Sox, everything else was good. You know, I didn't like that one, but again, we have to continue play hard, and you know, we came into today.
All right, even the umpires want to talk to you after this game because appearance number 1,000, the only pitcher to ever do that for the same team, Mariano. What does that mean to you?
That means you're old.
Beyond that.
That's great. It's great. You know what I mean? Like I said, I never like to talk about myself, but it's great. You know what I mean? Been blessed. You know, being here for so many years and being able to play with the same organization. You know, I mean, I had to thank God first. The organization, the Yankees, for giving me the opportunity. You know, family for the support. You know, and all of that. So I'm great teammates. And with that, I mean, what else you can ask?
One of those former teammates is in our booth, Paul O'Neill. He just said he wouldn't have all of those rings at home if you weren't the closer. Do you reflect ever at this point in your career? Do you ever wonder from 1995 to here everything that's gone on?
Well, I mean, I don't know about that, about what O'Neill says. You know, I mean, that makes it feel special. But at the same time, we have a great bunch of players that want to play, and I mean, the rest is just history.
So 1,000 appearances, how many more do you have in you?
I don't know. As many as God want me to make.
That'll be a lot.
Simple.
Well, thank you, Kim, and thank you to Mariano as well. So he doesn't think that Paul O'Neill's right. Shocking. But he is humbled by the compliment. Mariano Rivera strikes out JP Arancibia to end the ball game, start the handshakes as the Yankees win 7.